Hi everyone, Armored Pants here, and I have another video for you. This is Advanced Blitz Gaming number 4, and it is a tutorial, and this time we're going to talk about in-game decision making. And it's a new concept. I'm going to try something different today. I hope you're going to like it. It may work, it may not work, I don't know. We're going to try it now in front of a live audience, let's say. See if it works. See if it's something you enjoy, something you find useful. If it doesn't work, well then look, I'll take your feedback and we'll try something else. But I just thought this might be something which makes it a bit easier to learn, a bit easier to gain the valuable lessons that are to be had in various Blitz videos that you watch. Make it easier to take on board. And the secret is, or what we're going to try to do, which is different before, is we're going to make it interactive. I find, when I'm trying to learn something, if it's interactive, be it a language course, be it sort of instructions in terms of how to do anything, even watching something on YouTube, like how to fix a bicycle tire or whatever, which I've had to do recently because my kids have started bicycling. It's always a lot easier if it's interactive. It's always a lot easier if you can not just watch something and learn information, but maybe try to engage in the cognitive process yourself. So during the course of the video, we're going to have some timeouts. I'm going to stop the video at certain points in time. I'm going to ask you then, as we take the timeouts, to do a couple of different things, right? So I'm going to ask you to think about what you would do in this situation. Then we will come back to the video and we can compare notes. We're also going to, I'm also going to ask you to pause the video. And the pausing of the video, of course you don't have to do it, you can watch it straight through if you want to, but I would encourage you to pause it and be interactive, to take the small homework that I will give you, the small exercise. And that's going to be about you thinking in the situation as the game unfolds, what would I do? What would I do as a blitzer? That's going to be your homework, right? Have a think about that, maybe even make some notes. Then we'll see what actually happened in the game, and I will talk you through my thought process of what I did as the game unfolded, why I did it, how my brain was working. Although my wife, Mrs. Pants, would say that doesn't happen very often, and what's going on in my head is minimalistic, to say the least. But we all have our critics. But going back to the game itself, we will look at it, we will have a think about it, and we'll see if what you would do compares to what I would do. Now, the first game is T55A. It's on Desert Sands, and it's a Supremacy game. So we will start off, as always in our usual videos, we're going to start off just looking at the game and the game countdown. But unlike other videos, what we're going to do as the game countdown starts, as we go towards gameplay beginning, we're going to take a timeout and you are going to get a bit of homework. So I'm going to ask you a couple of questions. Firstly, what are the key activities? What should we be doing right now as the game countdown starts? And then which direction should we go? What's the plan for the game? So I'm going to ask you to pause the game here, hit pause, and to make some notes on those couple of questions. So I hope you hit pause, I hope you made some notes, and now we're back in gameplay. So what I decided to do was, as I'm in a medium tank, as I should be spotting and scouting, as I should be trying to identify where the enemy are on the map for my team, I decided to go towards C, going to the right of the map. Now, as we come across here, we'll see that there are no enemies. So let's take another timeout. So there's no enemy spotted. So what now? What next? We know that this flank is pretty clear. So with that in mind, I'm going to ask you to hit pause again. Please do so and make some notes. Think about what you would do yourself in this situation. Now, I hope you hit pause and I hope you're back again with us. And you can see here what I decided to do is, because this is a Supremacy game, I decide to cap. I've said this in many games before. If you're playing Supremacy, and it's even in the Supremacy guide that I have on the channel, you should cap, and cap as early as possible, because Supremacy is about getting points. The gameplay in Supremacy is different to other game types like Encounter. You have to get 1,000 points and you have to get there before the enemy, so therefore capping is essential. Now, with that in mind, we're going to take another timeout. So now that we've capped, now that we've taken out the AFK player, because spotted up by me, what next? Where to? We've seen that the enemy is around B, but should we go there directly or should we flank? What should we do? So hit pause again, have a think about it, make your own notes, and then let's see what happens. So we're back in gameplay again now, and I hope you hit pause and made some notes. Now you can see what I decided to do is not go directly to the enemy. Medium tanks, light tanks are flanking vehicles, so I decided to do a full flank. Rather than go and engage the enemy directly, I'm going to use my speed, the assets that I have as a medium tank, and I'm going to go for a full flank. And was that the right decision or not? Well, we will see as the game unfolds, but bingo, here we are. First kill, it's an easy kill, low hit point kill, but first kill, and then we get in some free shots into the flank of the enemy. So it seems that that strategy may have worked. So let's take another time out now. So we know the enemy is right in front of us to the left on the map, centered around the right hand side of the map at B. So what next? What do we do now? Should we go and engage? Should we stay and snipe? You decide. Now I hope that you made some notes. Now we're back in gameplay. And you can see I decided to stay. I decided to stay here and snipe. You can see here, I'm going to slow it down actually. Aim small, miss small. Look at that. Oof, how close was that? In real time in gameplay, that looked like a really bad miss. But you can see just goes just over the body of the hull. Slow it down again though, no mistake with this shot. So it seems that perhaps that decision making I made in game, not to go and engage the enemy, but to stay away and snipe from distance, is paying off. We're getting some free shots into the enemy. We are not sustaining any damage, and we're able to farm some damage onto the enemy, and we're going to be able to take out this Conqueror now. Nice shot right into the vulnerable part of his turret. And we saw that that sniping decision really seemed to pay off. And again, now we're able to snipe onto the IS-8 here as well. So now I'm going to ask you again. I'm going to pause and have a think about what to do next. We saw my ally, the M4A1, is going to engage the enemy. Should I engage with him or should I stay and continue to snipe? So pause the video and have a think about that. Okay, so we're now back in gameplay. Now, I don't know what your notes said or what you decided to do, but I've decided to move forward to help my ally and to engage the enemy directly now. We're in a 2v3 situation, so now it's time to get into the thick of the fight. Now, you just saw just there, we ended up in a Kolobanov situation. My ally's just been taken out. Now we have a Kolobanov to do. What is the plan? What would you do? It's 3v1. What are your plans? So hit pause again, make some notes, and then we'll see if what you decide is the same as how the game unfolds, and if indeed we have to share the same plan, or if you decided to do something different. Okay, we're back in gameplay. You can see I decided to push on. That was one of the shortest lived Kolobanovs ever. Take it out now, it's 2v1. Now, I'm going to pause it again, take another time out. Now what's next? It's 2v1. Do we decide to cap, go for points because we're in a fast tank, maneuverable tank? Or do we decide to go take on the enemy? Do we decide to maybe perhaps separate the enemy, try to take out one at a time? So take a time out, take some notes, and then we'll see if what you decide is the same as what actually happens. Okay, so we're back in gameplay. So I don't know what you decided, but this is what I decided to do. Probably those of you who know me, who've watched my gameplay before, you know I'm an aggressive blitzer, so this probably isn't a surprise to you. I just went straight on. But let's play out the end of the game here, and we're going to do something slightly different with the interactive part now. We're actually going to watch what I do in advance, and then the exercise will be, can you think through my thought process? What was I thinking as I went through the end game here? So take a pause, make some notes, and the objective is, what was I thinking in my gameplay in terms of taking out those two tanks and engaging in that 2v1. So hit pause and make your notes. Okay, and we're back in gameplay, And for what it's worth, I'm going to talk you through my thought process. So basically what I thought was, there's the Pantera, and there's the ISA. The Pantera I assumed had a fully loaded magazine, which means there's going to be 700 to 900 damage points that he can put into me. In that time, the ISA would probably put 2 rounds into me, especially if he dropped adrenaline. So therefore, they could take me out. So my thinking was, I need to remove one of them as quickly as possible. The Pantera P44 is the easiest to do, given that he has lower hit points. And what I decided to do was put 1 round into him and to ram him, because I know that I have better armor on the front, and then that leaves me the capability to take on the ISA, to circle death him and take him out. And because I have saved all my hit points, it doesn't matter if he puts a round into me or not. I know I'm going to be able to clear him off, which is what I do. Mastery badge delivered, 5 kills, and I think overall a pretty decent game in the T55, and I think good decision making throughout. But here's the thing, guys, right? There are different ways of playing. I'm a particularly aggressive Blitz player, so particularly the end scenario may not have been how you do it. So, I mean, one of the first videos I ever watched on Kolobanov was by Bushka, and what he said was, in those situations, he would try to separate the 2 tanks, then take out the Pantera, and then it would be easier to go in and engage the heavy, right? I have a different way of looking at it. I'm a bit more aggressive maybe than many blitzers, and my idea was just go straight in, take out, ram the Pantera, and then I'm in on the ISA. I've got the hit points to take him out. But it doesn't mean that my gameplay was better. There's different ways of doing it, and probably as you looked at your notes throughout, you saw that maybe you had a different game plan, but that doesn't mean it was worse or better. It just means that there's a different way of thinking. The important thing to do is to think. The important thing to do is to have a cognitive process, to think about the game as it unfolds, and to make sure that you are planning, even if subconsciously, but planning what you're going to do next and have valid reasons for that. So think about the tank that you're playing, think about the map, think about what the enemy are doing, what type of tanks they have and how they're deployed, all of those things, and then you make these split second decisions to do one thing or another. You know, and it doesn't always mean we're always going to have to agree. There are different ways of winning games. The important thing is just to make sure that you win. But I thought it would be good to explain my thought process, what I did as the game unfolded, and what delivered that mastery badge, and just so you understand what I was thinking as I was playing the game, and hopefully you can learn from that, or disagree, but also see how other players think, and that will help you to become a better player. And that's what these tutorials are all about, making you guys better players and making you enjoy the game, or giving you the abilities and the thought process that enables you to become a better blitzer, but a more enjoyable blitzer, because at the end of the day it's a game and we're all here to enjoy it. So cheers, Mush, thanks for watching. I hope you found it useful. Please let me know if you think this new concept works or not. If it does, great. If it doesn't, we'll adapt it or stop it altogether. So cheers, Mush. Thank you again. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found it useful. And I guess all that remains for me to say is pants off.